So a group of people, including Hallie Faust, our dear Hallie Faust, are working on a bill at the legislature to require Holocaust education in our public schools. Sounds like a pretty straightforward request that the children in public schools should know about the atrocities that happened in the Holocaust. They shouldn't repeat it again. They should know what it means, that the anti-Semitism, and they should be less hateful and more loving and caring. It's been taking a long time, and it's finally coming up for a discussion for a vote at the committee, and from there it goes to the House. I received a call from a legislator who asked me, do I know exactly what the language is? Do I know about this bill? And I said, I do know about this bill. We were planning to go and be there at the discussion. But told me that it includes some language that says that besides the Holocaust, it's also talking about other genocide, which sounds good, okay, there should be no genocide in the world. But including, they mention the Palestinian genocide. Presumably, the Israelis are committing genocide against the Palestinian people. Obviously, it means that people are trying to usurp this bill and turn it against us, using the Holocaust as a way to hurt the Jewish people again and to commit more anti-Semitism. The concept of using the suffering and the pain and the hardships that Jews went through against the Jewish people again, because to claim that there's a Palestinian genocide. Obviously, if you look at the stats, there is no Palestinian genocide. The Palestinians under Israeli rule are doing much better than people around in the surrounding areas. They're actually growing, they're flourishing, and yes, they're trying to hurt the Jewish people, and unfortunately there's terrorism, and we've just experienced some horrific attacks, brutal attacks in Israel against the Israelis, against innocent children and women on Shabbat and before Shabbat. Really horrible to watch. In this week's Parsha, this week's Torah reading, we read about Mishpatim, the rules that God gives us right after giving of the Torah on Mount Sinai. And they were given to Moses on Mount Sinai. Moses was called up to the mountain and stayed there for 40 days and 40 nights. He didn't just get the 10 Commandments, he got more and more mitzvot. And you read them, the bedrock of societies today, of the Western civilization, are these rules. The rules against being cruel to those less fortunate, paying a laborer the day he finishes work, not to take interest, to loan people, to return lost objects, real, ultimate, ultra careful about how we treat other fellow human beings and animals as well. If you see your enemy's animal suffering, you have an obligation, we have an obligation to help them. Our Talmud says, the Torah says, that if you see your enemy's animal struggling under its weight, you have an obligation to go help them. Now, obviously, it doesn't only mean that it goes for your enemy's animal, but if you have a choice and you're walking down the street and you see someone you like and someone you don't like, and their animals are going through a hard time, you have to help the one you don't like more than the one you like. So the society shouldn't be teaching us about ethics. Jews have brought these ethics to the world. The world today exists on these ethics. We wish they would be more ethical and more careful and less hateful. But we brought this to society. We should be very proud of it. So it's heartbreaking to see that society is trying again to use that against the Jewish people. May God bless those who are working on the bill, that they should overcome that obstacle and make sure the bill does good education, teaching the children that there is a way to love and a way to hate, or there's no way to hate, I should say, and make the world a better place. Let us learn more about these mishpatim, and God bless all those who are working on this bill. Shabbat Shalom.